if there was a rumor coming around that Kyle Dubas is interested in Brock Boeser, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Really?
It's yeah, no.
Why?
You'll tell your side of the story. Like we know you're a big Brock Boeser guy.
Okay.
I like Brock Boeser, but for me, he's too far removed from his rookie season where he was fully healthy, and we know that he had that really stupid injury. I
Wrist
think it
injury?
was at the end of his rookie season, right? Yeah, on the bench there because of an open door, like really bad luck. But since then, and he also had a back injury after that. Like this is a guy who's got to prove to me he's fully healthy before I'm giving him that type of responsibility. I think the team that's going to take a swing at him has to be like a rebuilder that has patience for him. Can't be a contender that wants to throw him to the wolves on a playoff run. I don't think it's going to work out.
Okay. So, I think that it's a very, very like enticing, enticing move. So we know that Vancouver has to make a move. We know that Besser's likely going to be the odd man out. We know that this guy is far removed and he's looking for something new. We also know the story where he is a grinder his whole life. He didn't come from money, which is why when they threw the contract and he took it. We know that he can fight through struggle, and I'm into that personal story. I'm into the storyline, and this is a redemption story that I think that GM should bank on. Simply just because of the fact that we know what he can do and we know the production he can have. Yes, he's had injury issues in the past, but it's something he can definitely come back from. I mean, think of all the players that you've seen come back from injury. Why can't Brock Besser be one of those, considering we know he can fight back? Brock Besser's going to hit 40 goals when another Brock Besser's going to hit 40 goals on a good line if he stays healthy. And I think that's something that we can take a chance on. I don't know the value of him right now. I don't know what Vancouver is looking for in a price, but obviously I wouldn't mortgage the future, but I'm definitely, you know, ready to pick up the phone if a number comes up that's up my alley. Not the Capitals specifically, but because we're probably not going to make the
In
playoffs.
general.
But if you're looking for a 1-2 winger, like why not? Especially on a retained
Don't you
salary.
think though, like it's a timeline thing? Like that's I guess that's my argument. Like Leafs and Capitals, from our standpoint, I don't think he fits the timeline. Like I know I think he's what 25 or 26. He fits the timeline age wise, but I feel he needs a nice reset. You look at Kirby Doc, he got that reset in Montreal on a team that has patience. Like I feel like Besser kind of needs that. Like he needs the pressure off of
Yes.
him in terms of you need to succeed right now in a top six role. Just he needs some time. So that's what I think. If there's a team that's looking to contend next year, that is okay with a bit of losing this year. All right, that I feel like that's the fit he should be looking for. If that makes sense.
No,
So
that does make sense.
would that be like say in Anaheim? I know that they've
Yeah,
been trying to push now for a few years, but it just has been coming off, and I think they definitely regressed this year a bit more.
yeah.
Maybe adding somebody like that to your top six. Playing alongside some of those guys at the top there. Um, Listen, I personally don't have any thoughts on Brock Besser. I'll be honest with you.
Not a fan.
Um, I honestly never been high on him, I'll be honest. I just want to bring up the point that um I said at the beginning of the season I wasn't convinced on the Canucks, and man, that prediction's starting to really age like a nice Pinot Grigio, a nice Chardonnay Sauvignon Blanc. That's a nice fine wine right there. I honestly I didn't know that. I didn't think that they would be this bad. I thought that they'd be fighting for a playoff spot, but right now it's like catastrophe central over there.
I can
Um,
I can I can even say myself. I don't think that Brock Besser's numbers are that bad. I'm not too sure what his numbers are off the top of my head, but I remember it being relative to his line, like relative, uh, like maybe a
Track
point
record,
seven, maybe a point eight. His goal scoring is like abysmal, but he's getting the assists, right? I mean, he was projected to be a goal scorer. He was projected to be a 50 goal scorer in his career at one point, but where I'm getting at is why can't he just reinvent himself? We've seen it done before. We know he's a hustler. We know he can fix that. We know he has the work ethic. He's he's the type of guy that I could see fully change his career if he gets the opportunity to. I'm high on him. I'll be honest with you guys. And just
I
imagine, hmm?
go on.
Oh,
Finish your point.
like let's pretend in an alternate universe the Capitals are in a playoffs are in a playoff position. That feels weird to say. How good would he look on a line with Kuznetsov, or like somebody who could actually pass the puck to him and play with him like that? We know he has a lethal shot. Maybe it's not showing this season, but at the end of the day, like you said, he needs a fresh start, and I'm very interested. Is what I'm trying to say at the end of the day.
Yeah. Brian's giving the debate for Brian McClellan. He's saying, "Hey, this, and that. Go and get Brock Boeser." That's what Brian's saying here. Brian, what is his defensive prowess like? Like, is he trustable in his zone? Because we know he's a
No,
scoring winger. So
no.
that's a problem. Like if I'm
Yeah.
the Leafs, for example, once again, like you don't bring too much value. Like you have to be able to play in your zone, especially on this year's Leafs team. That is an identity of the team. Is everyone plays in those? Even William Nylander now. Like
But my point is, you can
I've got
fix
no
that.
qualms about him.
You can.
I
He
This is
plays
a
in the
team.
I
offensive
think you
zone as
can.
well.
I think
He
yeah,
plays.
and I think
He plays defensively in the offense,
yes,
Nylander. Like
that's a
if you're
great
not
point.
even doing that, like
But this is a
Yeah,
team that's okay with JT Miller. You know, like
yeah,
that
yes.
shouldn't be the
That's not
thing
good.
though.
like my
Like,
argument here is that on another team, a team with structure, they wouldn't tolerate
Yeah,
that. They wouldn't tolerate that. You know, and
I'll give you a great recommendation. Great team. Eh, Just off of structure. Take a guess. What team? Who is the the
Islanders.
pinnacle of structure? Yeah, yeah. That's the perfect fit.
that could be a
100%. We know
good
this team
show.
was interested in Kadri in free agency. Like they want to add offense. They need game breaking talent. That's a team that even if you're not sold on Brock Boeser becoming defensively responsible, his line mates will insulate him if he doesn't. Right? So
Barzal and
great show,
Besser playing
Brian.
Maybe,
together.
yeah,
That's
Maybe Barzal
Yeah,
unlocks that goal scoring touch again. You never know.
yeah.
I think personally, it's just right now for Besser. I don't think it's even like you brought up injuries. I think honestly, change of scenery for a lot of the guys on that team might honestly be the best. Like I don't know how many of them need to change the scenery, but I know for sure there's at least a few of them. There's something definitely rotten at the core of that team, unfortunately. Um, and to sacrifice, you got to get rid of a few of the pieces. Maybe it's not the pieces that you envisioned getting rid of
A couple
before.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, well, Brock Boeser is somebody that you realistically wanted to build on.
I still can't believe you
Him,
guys aren't sold on this
Pedersen,
guy. Like
huge.
genuinely, I can't believe you guys aren't interested.
Listen,
Maybe
dude,
I'm
I'd be
crazy, but
interested. Another thing
I
too,
don't
Brian, is like how like you got to make the money work as well. That's the one problem for a lot of these teams. If you go down cap friendly right now,
you can't tell me
um,
that and then
Canucks
also say
money, like Canucks have not been
no. They manage
doing
their
like
cap like garbage.
not made the yeah,
But
Tucker Pullman's making like 3.25. That's
Dave,
almost
there
that's more than
there
half of
are
his
only
contract.
five, six teams under $80 million in current cap hit. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you also have to realize like the money also needs to work as well
For
in
the
order
other
for the
team.
trade to go through, right? So
You make a good
I
point.
bet you there definitely is teams that are picking up the phone that we don't know right now, but there's also a lot of teams that are, you know, they're hitting the hangover. They're trying to they're putting numbers here and here and there, and it's like I listen 100%, Brian. No, you do bring some good points to the table. I don't. I think the talent is still there. I think Christian brought up a good point with his injuries. Like you know, he's had a rough go of it. But 100%, like there's definitely calls going through. Like there's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. Would I personally be ringing up the phone lines for him right now?
who's your second
Maybe
line right
not.
winger?
Right now?
Yes.
It's Nylander.
Uh,
Okay,
yeah,
Or
never mind.
Marner.
it's
Yeah.
Nylander. Yeah.
Never mind
Oh
then.
yeah, the right
Yeah.
side for the Leafs has been in stone for the
It's the
past
left.
half
It's the left
decade.
side. That's been
Yeah.
a little bit
Okay,
lacking.
never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like he's probably gonna be better than most players second line,
Yes.
but I guess you guys are the exception.
Yeah.
But then again,
I've got a couple.
hmm?
Sorry, Brian. Then again, what?
but then again, like like you said, the money has to work. But Dave, you're
Yeah.
also the guy that always says, "Oh, the money will work in a year because the cap's going up," right?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's fine. But I'm also talking about like right now you need
Has
to
to work
make
for
the
this
money
year
work
Yes,
still.
that's true.
to
Yeah,
add this guy onto the team.
yeah,
So there definitely is ways to do it. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, this is the way to go. That's not my job. I'm just here to pick apart, you know, pick everything apart about the NHL. That's gonna be the job for 31 other people. Yeah, 31 other people, right? And their support staff. I
That's
I
fair.
100% though. I would he's already been almost scratched. I believe yesterday he was supposed to be healthy scratched, but then he had to come in as like injury replacement. So that's got to mean that there's something on the way. Um,
We'll
I
see.
think the bet is I think the bet is 100% by this trade deadline though. He's going to be on another team. He's going to be in
yeah.
new uniforms 100%. I think that's a safe bet that we could put on.
Okay, I think that's
I've
a good
got.
place. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say let's
Sorry,
go on break.
sorry, Brian.
I was gonna say let's go on break,
Okay.
but you can finish. You can finish.
Let's go. Okay, I'll make it really quick. I'll make it really quick here. And by really quick, I mean I have 3 gigantic points, Brian. I do have 3 points, but I'll make them
I
quick.
gotta pee, bro.
Point number one. Oh wow, so new here.
On the
If
hour.
you haven't listened, yeah. Brian's got the smallest bladder in the world, Guinness World Record. Once again, it's behind him. You can see it there. Okay, point number one. I'm pretty sure we heard that the Penguins are interested in him last year. That's another
Oh
team
my
that
goodness.
should be interested. Yeah, Brian's like, no. You know what? They did get Raquel last year though, so maybe that takes them out of it. Just wanted to bring that up. Second thing, Brock Boeser is pretty expendable for the Vancouver Canucks because of Andrei Kuzmenko, the guy who's come in and has like freaking 21 points in 25 games. The guy totally made Boeser expendable. He's making less than $1 million on this deal that he came in on because he came from the KHL. So there's your new top 6 right winger. And so it is just kind of good asset management from the Canucks to get rid of Boeser after a whole lot of bad asset management. Last thing, and a bit of a sadder note, but we know that Besser lost his father over the offseason as well. And that could play a part in his play and wanting a change of scenery, because I can give you 2 other players in the past couple of years who went through the same thing. 3 actually. Number one, Adam Larson in Edmonton. His father passed away while he was playing in Edmonton, and in free agency, he admitted, he said that was part of my reason I needed to move on. I just needed to go somewhere else to move on in my life. OEL, same thing in Arizona. I'm sure if you ask him, that could have played a factor in him wanting to go. And we know that. Let's not say that OEL is a star now, but again, in Vancouver, but he's improved his play since the Arizona days, the latter of his Arizona days.
Yeah.
And even Matt Murray as well, we could bring up. He went through that as well. So we can understand the value in change of scenery, going back to the personal adversity, that type of stuff. So we'll see what happens with Besser there.